It's really an honor and delight to be with you this morning. Um, just to be with you, no matter what the day is or what's happening, is the biggest honor. But I'm also really happy to be with you on Mother's Day. I have one child who will be 21 on Thursday, and that's a really poignant. That's a poignant time because that's sort of a bridge from childhood into adulthood. So this Mother's Day is really particularly poignant for me, and it's a Mother's Day where we're not together. My Ava is in Berlin right now, so I'm missing Ava, and I'm dropping into this field of um, mother love that's always available. That's part of the unified field of energy and loving awareness that's always there. And all of us can relate to that field in one way or the other, either as children or as mothers or as caretakers of pets or plants or any other beings. And so I invite that loving energy of motherhood and divine Mama Earth into our class this morning. So this morning's class is about self-awareness, and self-awareness is really a foundational competency, if you will. It's a foundational capability in the field of emotional intelligence and resilience and human flourishing. And it's also a core teaching of the Buddha and all contemplative traditions, is that, we are to know thyself. And what we are lucky to have is a practice and particular ways of engaging with ourselves to help us deepen that knowing, to really bring in a depth of attention and a quality of attention that invites curiosity and compassion, these two C's together. So let's start today with a guided meditation, and we'll move right into the experiential embodied practice of meeting ourselves right here, and inviting in, moving into this meditation with an inquiry of, darling, I really want to know you. I really want to see you and feel you. So you might shift your body in a way that allows you to be comfortable and relaxed. You can see we've got this beautiful mama behind us, this wonderful tree I love. Some of you know her. And she is grand and strong and has outstretched arms. So she both has the strong back and the soft front, and is embracing all of us. So if you're missing your mamas today, if you're navigating any kind of mixed emotions about your mother or your children, um, just allow yourself to be held in this meditation and this talk by our community and by this fabulous, strong, and loving tree behind me. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. Bringing attention inward, feeling the body breathe. Very gentle, very easy. You're moving attention as if it's a beam and moving it through the body with agency and choice. moving it down from the eyes and the mouth to the heart, through the belly, through the seat and the legs, down to the feet. And feel your feet. Ground yourself. We begin meditation with grounding, arriving in the here and the now. So you can feel the feet. And like this big, beautiful, massive tree behind me, you too can envision yourself as a strong, wide, arms wide out oak, feeling your feet on the earth, envisioning roots going down, extending, stretching out. The roots flowing beneath you into the energy of the earth. They remind us that we are not alone. We are connected. Hearing the bird song, the earth teeming with life this morning. Energy, aliveness, vitality. Moving all around you and through you. Moving attention from the feet back up through the body, through the trunk, into the heart space. Breathing in and out here. Breathing in deeply, gently. Breathing in with full awareness and letting go. Feeling your body supported. Feeling the breath coming in and going out. Letting the breath be your anchor, your focal point of attention. You might envision the breath moving in and out of the heart center. The heart opening and gently retracting like a flower, opening and slightly closing. And you can feel the full experience of your body right now, grounded and strong, stable as a mountain. And then the heart, gentle, loving, breathing. Flower fresh. feeling the body. And if any sensation pulls your attention, there could be a contraction or a tight muscle or an itch on the leg from a mosquito yesterday. Just notice it and bring attention back to that opening and closing of the heart, the breathing, the energy flowing through. You're not trying to change anything. We're bringing attention into the body and feeling the felt sensations that are here. Just knowing what's here. Buddha taught us the body in the body. Very subtle, simple presence. Bringing kind attention to your felt experience right here. Now bring attention back to the heart space. And you might ask, what emotions are present right now? Their joy, any tension. Maybe there's a sense of peace and calm, or perhaps uncertainty. Whatever is here, let it be here. We're not trying to change anything. The intention is to allow and to see, to love what's here just as it is. Offer this inner space, this place of feeling, of tenderness. Offer it your full attention. See if you can deepen attention. And as you deepen attention, also relax back into the wider field that's right here. Yeah. As if you're being held. I'm feeling that large tree behind me, held by nature, held by this Mother Earth, held by the loving energy of my mother, who has transitioned, and I feel her right here with me. So we rest here, dear ones. We rest in presence with ourselves and each other. Thich Nhat Hanh says, to love is to be fully present. When we drop into deep awareness in the present moment, we invite knowing ourselves instead of turning away, ignoring, avoiding, denying. We're coming right in close right now. This life, this sweet, precious life, deserving of our full attention. And so as you make space, I invite you to invite whatever is here to come forward, whatever emotion, thought, feeling, really to look deeply at what's present in this ever-changing process that is you. What's here right now? Welcome it all, this too. Sometimes it helps to silently repeat, this too belongs. This loneliness, this feeling of missing, the comparing mind, even craving or aversion, shame, all of it. Yes, you can be here. We welcome our full, complete selves. We welcome our playfulness, the spark in our eye, our kindness, our service to others, our laughter, our care. Just seeing it all. This being human is a guest house. Every day, a new visitor. And so we accept ourselves fully, just as we are. And now bring attention from the body, the heart. Bring it up to the mind. You can think of the mind as movements, thoughts coming and going. You can even see it as an album with deep grooves in it, conditioned ways of thinking, habitual patterns of sense making, repetitive thoughts. Just in that wider field of loving awareness, just bring attention to the mind, your mind. All the skillful means that you've cultivated in your mind, your ways of performing task and care and planning and all of it. Just holding it all in a wider field. Now envisioning yourself as the blue sky, seeing thoughts moving across the sky, whatever's arising. Just seeing what's here in this life right now. Memories on this Mother's Day, narrative, commentary, planning. We welcome it all and let them just flow gently. Mind is a dynamic process. It's always changing. So we're just witnessing, this is here. You are not your thoughts, dear one, or your beliefs or your assumptions. You are the wider field of loving awareness that holds it all. Feeling the breath moving in and out of the body as we witness the mind, letting thoughts just be clouds, loosening their grip, moving the power from the thoughts to the true essence of you, your true nature, your bodhisattva nature. Sri Nisargadatta said, just keep quietly attending to the I am. That is enough. I am. And now dropping deeper into the present moment. That's really just inviting a letting go of object awareness, whether it's the breath or the thoughts, relaxing back again with no single point of tension, no anchor. You might move awareness behind the eyes, the back of the head, and just resting here. Now let the breath widen. Resting here. I am. Opening all of the sense doorways, portals. Taking in the bird song. Feeling the breeze on your cheeks. If there's one in your home or if you're outside. Touching the back of your cheek with your hand. Feeling the touch sensation. Putting a hand on the heart. Really allowing the body to be the experiencer of life. resting in this moment, present moment, wonderful moment, as Thich Nhat Hanh teaches. You are here. The field around you, the energy moving through you, all connected, all divine. Let yourself rest here in the freedom of just being. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing added, nothing missing, just here. Now, dear one, I invite you to open the heart with the invitation of gratitude. As soon as I do that, I feel a warmth move through my body. Gratitude for this time. Gratitude for turning inward, for the inquiry and depth at which we meet ourselves, want to know ourselves with curiosity and kindness. It's the deepest way to love ourselves, is to be right here. Gratitude for each other. Every person who's breathing and loving and being brave in this very moment together. This Sangha. Gratitude for each person who will experience this class at a later date in their bedroom or the kitchen with friends. You too are here with us. Gratitude for all the helpers, everyone who is serving and caring and nursing and aiding in all the variety of ways all over the planet. Gratitude for our family members and all their beautiful imperfections, all the ways they loved us and tried to love us and still try, and for us to back at them. Gratitude for the divine feminine energy moving through the cosmos. May we feel her today. May we feel it, open to it. Let it touch the feminine energy moving in each one of us. May we be more gentle today. May we be a little more caring. May we allow our creativity to flow. Opening the heart. And may we move into a circle in our minds, feeling this Sangha, this community, shoulder to shoulder in a circle, putting one hand on your heart, the other hand on the back of someone that you feel in this group. Could be someone you know, it could be someone you don't know. Just feeling them, just sending energy in and love. I've got you. You've got yourself, you've got the person next to you, and we do that all the way around. Sending and receiving blessings. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be safe and protected. May you be healthy and strong. And may you know that you are loved. Allow that to come into you. Amazing. And sending it back out. May our practice this morning be of benefit to our own growth, to all of those we touch, and to all beings. Bringing attention back to the breath for a deep inhale, a slow, gentle exhale. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Stretching, rubbing your hands, putting them on your eyes. You can stand if you want and twist. I'm noticing now it's quiet. Now that the meditation is over, there was a whole parade of people that walked down my street, like 3 generations of family in a big pack. And they're chatting and talking with other neighbors. And I thought, okay, this belongs. The birds were singing to us. It was just a vibrant scene during our meditation. And I just said, okay, here it is. So we'll do a bit of a dharma talk here. And then we'll have some stretching and then move into Q&A, connection. You just change my recorder here. So I hope that you're feeling like you've arrived in your body and you're getting to know yourself even more, dropping in. I want to explore this idea of self-awareness. It's an idea that, we think, oh yeah, sure. I know that. I was in therapy for 20 years. But the question is, do we know ourselves? And then is cultivating that insight and awareness part of our intentional practice? It arises when we meditate. It's so beautiful. It's a byproduct of showing up for yourselves or ourselves. But this awareness of self, of understanding our identity, of gently opening to what's here, of understanding how we are changing, we are dynamic, and how that is affecting and guiding our actions and where our attention and energy is going and how we show up in relationship. That is fundamental, fundamental to the Bodhisattva path. So we're really exploring awareness of self. And there's two ways to even think about self. You might say, what is self? I thought, the Buddha taught us no self, non-self. What are we doing here, Laurie? We can think of self with a small s and a capital S. The small s is, you can think of as the conditioned mind, the personality, all the things you've learned, all your experiences, your big T and little t traumas, your preferences, your aversions, your habituated ways of being, your routines, your ways of seeing, the filters that you look through. That's the small self. And a lot of that is here. It's in the body, in the human form. And we love that. We love that we've got this miraculous gift of being human. And part of that being human opportunity that we've all been given is the shaping of the body and the shaping of the self, the forming of an identity, the growing from me, mine to, oh yeah, you're here and I'm there. And then we mature into a sense of we. And then when we're really far down the developmental human path, we start to lose that that subject object duality, and we start to see, we're actually one. We kind of go full circle. And that's the human part. It's the part that holds your favorite color. It's the part that has those sensitive things that get touched and you get triggered or activated. That's that form. I'll call that the lowercase s self. And then the capital S is that boundaryless, luminous, radiant, true nature. The calm, clear, compassionate, loving, creative self, higher self, or timeless self, or spirit and soul. That kind of can go into that. And these are words. You use the language that works for you, but it's a way of thinking about this timeless spiritual essence and the body in which it's the temple that it's walking around in. So if we talk about self-awareness, then it helps to have a frame for what we're speaking about. So the challenge of this being human is we often forget that we have these, the big S and the little s. And mindfulness, the awareness that arises from paying attention on purpose in the present moment with curiosity and compassion, that awareness that's arising from paying attention on purpose is often just forgotten. And John Kabat-Zinn invites us to remember. He reminds us that mindfulness in Pali means to remember. Remember. Member is the body, coming back into the body, waking up again and again. The teacher Sharon Salzberg in New York says that the name of the game here is beginning again, beginning again, beginning again, waking up, remembering, coming back into the body. So we get caught up in life. Last night, I shared with some of you on email that I was caught up in gardening And it was beautiful. I love it. I love, love, love seeing what's growing, what's tangled up, what's struggling, what's thriving, and figuring out what everybody needs and taking care and moving things around and planting and pulling, all of it, very dynamic. But I get caught up and lost. And I mean, I'm very present in a way, but there's like part of me that wider field, I lose track of where I am. And then I got to remember and come back. Or we get caught up in worrying. We get caught up in searching. We get caught up in fear. I looked at an open house yesterday. Um, I'm madly in love with this beautiful space I'm in Annapolis, but I'm renting it for just 1 year. I lose it in November. And well, maybe I'm manifesting that that doesn't happen and I keep staying here. So please do that with me, but possibly. So I'm looking at little houses and cottages and bungalows around town. And I really had my hopes on the one I looked at yesterday, and it just was not the right place. I knew it. And I got in my car and it was really sad. And I was driving up Route 50 from DC towards Annapolis, and I was feeling the sadness, and then I was lost in thought of like, okay, what's going to happen? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to live? Am I doing the right thing? Should I rent or buy? It's too expensive in the DC area. Like, boom, I was gone. I was down in the ruminating chain, the worrying chain. I was projecting into the future. I was all the things. And then I woke up. Then I remembered and came back. And one way I come back is through the body, which we practiced. What am I feeling in this present moment? What am I seeing and smelling? That's like the life hack to coming back into the present. Um, and also just the tenderness of recognizing uncertainty and change, recognizing that, okay, you're searching, you're loving here. Can you come back? And then I came back. I actually literally came back to this place and gardened. And even though it's temporary, I'm like, I'm gardening this thing. I am just going to celebrate her beauty in the land and enjoy it while I'm here. So mindfulness invites us to return to the present moment, to the simple and profound path. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the teaching is this is the direct path for the realization of nirvana, namely the four foundations of mindfulness. We're invited to return to the body, to the breath, to the feelings, and to the awareness that knows. That's what we did in our guided meditation today. We went through the four foundations, and then we realized that we stopped running from this present moment, or we stopped running from ourselves, or we stop running from uncomfortable feelings or uncertainty, and we sit in presence. And that's where awareness of self begins, when we sit in presence. And then things start to shift. We start to see clearly. We start to know ourselves. Oh, I'm caught up in this. Or even, for me in this example of where to live next, it requires, if I'm really going to choose the right thing, it requires really knowing myself. What are my values at this third chapter in life, or third act, they call it? What matters most? The values that I had when I was raising Ava, where to live, who to be near, what community looked like, are very different now that Ava's in Europe. So what does it mean? What are the deepest values? What what should I prioritize and what should I put on the back burner? That requires knowing yourself and knowing who you are today. That's a dynamic shifting process. Dr. Dan Siegel out in California, brilliant meditation teacher and neurobiologist, psychologist, he teaches us that the mind is changing. We know that from our Buddhist universal law of impermanence. So as we are constantly changing, we need to keep showing up for ourselves in stillness, keep practicing inquiry, going within, asking ourselves, dear one, what is most essential now? What do you care about mostly now? What's most important? And also, what are you most afraid of? So, this is how the capital S self meets the smaller lowercase self in the present moment and then holds that space for inquiry. So, we start to see clearly, we start to know ourselves not as an identity, as roles, as labels, as categories or orientations or demographics or race or any of those labels that are not at all who we are. But we start to know ourselves as presence itself, and we can relax back into this awareness. And this is really beautiful. I've been practicing with the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh for 30 years, living and chopping carrots and breathing and walking alongside of him at Plum Village, Magnolia Grove Monastery, Deer Park. And Thai, as we call him, he teaches that to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to accept, you don't need to be accepted by other people. You need to be accepted by yourself. So in order to do that, we need to really go into this presence with deep curiosity and compassion, not pushing anything away, not disliking any part, not being embarrassed or ashamed of any part of who we are, but to really tap into that beauty like we did this morning together and to say, ah, I love you. I love you for all your patterns, all your coping mechanisms, all your ways, all your quirkiness, all your habits right now. I love you right now, just the way you are. And that is where we start to show up fully. We expand. And as we love ourselves just the way we are, we can start to dissolve those conditioned ways of being that no longer serve us. It's very interesting when we're willing to know ourselves and accept ourselves just the way we are, then we can start to heal, to grow, to drop the spacesuit. In light of this acceptance, a deeper question begins to arise, one that Sri Nisargadatta articulated with a fierce clarity. The only fact you are sure of is that you are. I am is certain. The I am is the root. It's the beginning. We just keep coming back to attending to this I am. I am the divine loving awareness that's just moving through this human form. So we as we practice deepening self-awareness, we start to kind of let go of the trap of over-identification with roles or to-dos or tasks, of worries, of fears. And we really relax into this deeper, deeper level of presence. It's an invitation of self-awareness to rest in the felt sense of being. Before we were anything else, we were awareness itself. So our practice is to fall back into that. It may seem really subtle. It may seem like, wait, like that's what we're doing with self-awareness. But the mind, like we resist simplicity. We think everything has to be super hard and very complicated with multiple steps. Well, you can know that it is simple. And we did steps. We started with grounding, physically grounding in the body. And then we gently went through mindfulness of body, mindfulness of emotion and feeling, the heart, mindfulness of thoughts. We move through these steps and we land in that place of loving awareness, returning to the truth of who we are. And when we do that, we taste something timeless. Yesterday, in that house I looked at that I really loved and thought, okay, when I was driving there, this is going to be the one. In the dining room on the wall was the poem from Mary Oliver, Wild Geese. It was framed. And then I thought, okay, that's a sign. This is my house. But I want to bring out one line as we talk about resting in the deep, loving awareness of I am, of the truth of who we are. Mary Oliver says, you only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. This is the doorway, letting yourself be, dropping beneath the labels, dropping into presence. When feelings arise, when you feel the grip, when you feel the trigger, when an old pain is touched, you just remember, I am that, who you are. We relax back. This morning, after I walked Max, it's such a gorgeous morning on this Mother's Day, and I walked Max, and I ran into my neighbor, and I remembered immediately that John works for FEMA. And Friday night, I was at a fantastic event in DC. It was a podcast tour, the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. And we were all sitting in this hall together, and we were connecting to the deep pain that's going on in our country right now in Washington, D.C. And someone mentioned that day, the director of FEMA got fired. And so this morning I saw John and I said, John, I heard what happened Friday. And he recounted exactly what happened in the meeting, how this man entered, what his body language was, what his words were, what happened in that 15 minutes. So it was very painful. I felt this whole contraction this morning, this whole like anger rise and contraction and fear, disbelief, and all the emotions rose. And I expressed that, you know, compassionate words to John, togetherness. And then I turned and walked on the land, walked up to the tree behind me, and just returned to that timeless presence. And that is what we learn to do. We're not ignoring what's happening. We're feeling it all. We're feeling the emotions move through like weather systems. And then we're resting back into that wider field of awareness. And it's in that field, it's in that place in us that remembers who we are, that we see clearly, that we pick our lane of action, engagement, where we can see this is mine to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to serve. So we learn that fluidity and we rest in knowing ourselves, knowing who we are. Thich Nhat Hanh says, feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. So we breathe. We breathe through it. We return to ourselves. Rumi says, try to be a sheet of paper with nothing on it. Be a spot of ground where nothing is growing, where something might be planted, a seed possibly, from the absolute. So that's the practice here with self-awareness, seeing what's arising, understanding our patterns, recognizing emotions as they're arising, welcoming everything, and then returning back into that I am. being that place on the ground that's free, that clean sheet of paper, that blue sky. This is where we act from. This is where we serve. This is where we connect. All you need to do, says Sri Nisargadatta, is be attentive to the I am and give it your heartfelt interest. I'll close with two more voices that I love, Hafez and the poet Rilke. Hafez says, I wish I could show you when you were lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. So as the human part of us, the lowercase s, moves in these very difficult times, these very challenging moments, when the news of the day seems to get harder than the news from yesterday, our job is to practice self-awareness, capital S self, knowing who we are, remembering the astonishing light of our own being. And Rilke says, the only journey is the one within, going in, being present, remembering who we are, so that we can radiate that light, that compassion, and that courage outward together. We're all walking each other home. Thank you for being here, for your practice, for your heart, for your bravery, for your compassion, for your light.